Yeah, for funerals and things.
New haircut. It's almost like a in the AM in the morning type thing.
AM in the morning. I think I got my hair cut at like 12:30 or 1 o'clock. But that's morning for some people. Uh, yo, you guys have one shot, one opportunity to see everything you ever wanted. One moment. Would you capture it, or would you let it slip?
Me, I'll probably let it slip, unfortunately.
I think it depends what's going on, what time of day, what day it is. It might slip. I'd probably want to, but I think it's 50-50. 50-50.
Well, it's a rap battle. It's an Eminem line, really, from 8 Mile. So I've been on 8 Mile all week for some reason. So, before we kick it off, though, give me 30 seconds here. All right, late registration. Here we go. So you guys know why we're here. This is your week 4 IU We Talk Sports. Said that wrong, but presents Fantasy for Breakfast. So we're gonna go ahead and give you some of our expert picks for your DFS lineup, so you can go ahead and get some money in your pockets and make some money. I don't know. We don't have Andy again. The Myers Open is this week, so I don't know if we have any of our winners from last week. We'll get around to that. I think I'm gonna start keeping them because I think this is maybe 2 weeks in a row where we don't have them. So
it's not cold enough yet, man. Andy's going to be gone every Sunday until it's too cold.
Pretty much, we're gonna have to see if we can get him to do the show from the course. I mean, if I can do it from First Energy Stadium, the dude can do it from wherever he's golfing at, obviously. So,
what are you there for, man?
Just hanging out.
Bieber concert.
I miss this place, and I'd like to be here every week. So I like to start the week off. But yeah, so let's go ahead and hop into it and get some more picks out here. So just to jump into things, we are going to go ahead and start off with our quarterback position. For everyone that doesn't know, because maybe I see we're at 7 right now. So that means we got 2 more already than what we had last week, which is amazing. Thank you guys for watching. So in case you guys don't know what we're doing here, we're making picks on DraftKings. Some of these can be aligned with FanDuel if you use it, but if you do, I recommend using DraftKings. It's better. Anyway, we're going to give you 4 picks to build your lineups around and try to make some money in cash games. We typically use cash. So, your cash games are going to be your 50-50s, your double ups, your triple ups, your multiplier games, and then your head-to-heads. GPP, and whenever we reference that as grand prize pool, that's going to be your lottery ticket. That's going to be your Mega Million competitions,
you got to get it
from hundreds. You got to really break even and maybe switch some of these picks up to get a little bit different from the rest of the field. So if you guys hear us use those terms, that's what those are referring to. And of course, if you need any lineup advice for your season long, feel free to ask us. We see the comment sections and we answer, and we'll try to help you out as much as we can so you can get another win under the win column. But yeah, so before we go ahead and kick things off here, I mean, you guys got anything you guys want to say, or add to as far as what we do?
Well, we explained it, or we decided as far as, yes, we're giving the picks, but we're staying under a certain salary cap so that you have enough of a salary cap to get some to fill out. Sometimes we're heavy on the 2,800 or 1,000. Sometimes we're low, which gives you a little bit more room to pick up other expensive guys. But in our 4 picks, we were looking, what'd we say? If we can get you 70, then you have a really good chance of doubling up on those double up games and triple up games, like you say. So all you got to do is be in the top half. And usually if you're in around the 100 range, you'll double up, So we're looking for 70 points. And when we hit it hard. Last week was 130? You were guaranteed to make money if you played those players.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So I think we're just now getting Kai on that too. And I saw his text in our group saying it's like, oh, I love these 50-50s. I'm like, yo, I've been telling you to play these for years.
Well,
That's how you
here's
that's how you keep your
my
bankroll
thing.
there. That's how you keep your roll rolling.
Well, if you don't have a roll to start with, you go for the 50-cent ones where the winner gets $10,000. I mean, that's 1 trillion times on your money if my math serves me correctly.
That's
You know,
perfect. A
so
lot of
when I
people
go
don't
in with
want
$5,
$100 on their account.
I can make 6 different lineups for 85 cents total, and that's a bigger payout than $3 on $3. I know the odds of winning are much slimmer, but hey, you got to dream big. You got to start somewhere.
And
Evidently,
that's the good thing about DraftKings is that's available.
yeah, that's the
10-cent
option.
game. I
But
mean, you
no,
could put a dollar in.
I have learned that I do better than mostly. I do better than 50% of the people playing, but I don't
You don't.
win money. So you know, word to the wise. I'll just do both.
Yeah, hey, I'd be lying if I said that I didn't stick all my lineups into like some type of GPP lineup because you just never know. So if you get a really solid cash game lineup, just throw it in anyway. Throw it into one of those
You
quarter
feel
matchups.
really good about it.
Yeah. If you because next thing you know, you blow up. You got like a 200-point squad or something. You're like, hey, I hit a little bit of cash in here. So,
Yeah, and then you'd
um,
be mad that you didn't play that 50-cent one.
yeah. But it's weird though, because even when I have those and I win the few bucks that I win, it's like, all right, well, how did this person have that much better of a lineup than me? I'm pretty much convinced that they work for DraftKings. We'll never know that though. But anyway, let's go ahead and just jump into the quarterback picks here. Before we even do that, I got to play this. This has just become a staple for what we're doing here. So congratulations, you're still my agent. Um, so yeah, I'm I'm pretty much going as chalky as possible with my pick at quarterback this week, and I imagine it's going to be a very, very huge favorite for cash games. It'll probably be a favorite throughout a lot of lineups, honestly, GPP included. But I'm going with Josh Allen for 8,400. I mean, um, I typically like to try to stay away from chalky picks, and I've actually already picked Josh Allen once this year, and we're only in week 4. But this Baltimore Ravens defense is just atrocious. They're letting everybody pass on them right now. Their cornerbacks are really phenomenal, but it's their safeties that are not really anywhere close to good at all. So, they're giving up a lot of yardage. Josh Allen's probably still feeling a little bit of a type of way, just like Buffalo fans are about that loss to Miami. I don't know if you guys have followed any of that, but oh boy, these guys, every excuse in the book. I'm like, you want to be a dynasty until it's time to be a dynasty. Now you got excuses everywhere. It was a punch in the mouth. I don't think that they're bad. I don't think that they probably shouldn't be favorites still, but this fan base, you could tell that they thought that these guys were going to go undefeated. But they carry a lot of the same weight that the team itself does, and they don't really respond well to embarrassing losses. I think last year they respond very well to embarrassing losses. Last year, I think they made a turn after the game against New England where they lost and Mac Jones only threw 2 passes. So I think this Miami game really got to them, and they're going to take advantage of this Baltimore Ravens defense that can't stop a nosebleed. So Josh Allen at 8,400, he is the most expensive on the slate, but heavily going to pay off. So obviously, with him costing that much, I will be spending down at a position this week, and we'll get to that a little bit later on in these picks. Hefe, you're the man directly to my right, which is usually how I go here. So who you got at quarterback?
I'm sticking with your whatever you called it, going with the big dogs, but I'm staying in that game and I'm going the other side, man. Lamar Jackson's playing sick lately, and to be honest, there's no reason to think that he's not going to continue that streak. I mean, he's going to have to throw the ball. He's going to have to run the ball. This is easily another 250 in the air with 3 touchdowns and 120 with maybe 2 more. I mean, if Lamar puts up a Lamar game, he's the guy you have to have in your lineup. And he's right behind Allen. He's 83. He's number 2 on the list. But, I mean, we said the dude's playing for a contract, man, and we seem to kind of forget that with what's going on with the team and stuff. But we know contract years are where players show out, man. He is right now, and he's going to continue, man, today. It's going to be a great game to watch. I hope that's on opposite the Browns.
Yeah, I'll be if not, then I'll be heavily on Red Zone this week. I've been on there a lot. As much as I love the Browns, it's like being able to watch multiple games. Just, I mean, we play fantasy football for a reason. So I wish they did more updates or something. Let's see what happens when the Sunday Ticket ends up on Apple. I think they'll allow a little bit more people to watch certain games. But Porderell
Porterell Patterson.
Porterell Patterson.
Yeah, oh, come on now.
Porderell.
You already know what it is. Porderell Patterson. Yeah. Hey man. I like Jeff's pick. He is the Aaron Judge of American football. So speaking of, Aaron Judge will hit 62 today. Mark my words. If you're not in Ohio and you can bet sports, bet that. I just have a feeling he's getting it done today. Anyway, I'm going Matt Ryan, $5,600. I think I've picked him before. I don't know if this is the best pick, but he's only $5,600. They're playing Tennessee. Tennessee got beat by my New York Football Giants, who are playing Jeff's Chicago Cubs. And sorry about the baseball reference. I know you guys haven't been watching baseball in about a month and a half. So anyway, I'm just trying to eke around my pick that I'm not too comfortable with because I picked him once and he hasn't done too well. But I am starting
every time I picked him last year.
I am sticking him in one of my lineups too for one of my leagues. But yeah, Matt Ryan, I think he needs to show out. It's a home game against a division foe. For me and my leagues, I'm hoping Derrick Henry does well and it's a shootout. But we'll see. If he doesn't do well today, I won't pick him ever again. I promise, guys. Again, that's going to be a Matt Ryan for $5,800.
Yeah, that's a good.
Where you're going with your next 2 picks?
That's a good spin down though, and I think that he didn't have a bad game at all last week against Kansas City, and Kansas City's defense is actually a little bit more improved than people will give him credit for. So, maybe he can keep that alive, especially having Michael Pittman back out there, and I think Alec Pierce, got a lot of targets last week. So, it's a good it's a good pick.
And they're running back.
I like in GPP. I would put out there too. What about their running back?
He hasn't showed up yet.
No, so that's got to be coming.
There'll be 12 dump offs to him today for 200 yards.
Yeah, ever since week 1, he really has seemed to kind of lay it down a little bit. There's a trend of running backs who were like that for whatever reason, but we'll see where that goes. All right, so let's go ahead and move on over to running back here. We'll go ahead and just reverse it here. So because I'm pretty sure we know who your running back is. So poor Darrow, who you going to RB?
It's I'm going with Cordarrelle Patterson. So the reason I picked him
last week,
he's awesome, and he's playing against the Browns defense with no Myles Garrett because Myles Garrett got into a car wreck. That being said, Browns defense really hasn't been playing too well. I would have picked them in a couple of leagues had they still been there in the last round, but they weren't. And they're not doing that great. So Cordarrelle Patterson had a great game. He was listed as questionable, but he is going to play. So do keep an eye on that just in case. But Cordarrelle Patterson, he is $6,500, which is $2,000 less than most of your big guys. So I think that's a steal for sure.
Man, Kai leaving lots of room for you today.
Wait till my receiver is expensive.
Well, yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, I have a feeling that the Browns defense is going to play better today for whatever reason without Myles Garrett, just because that's how stuff happens.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they'll have like some type of spark and everybody's making plays, and it's just like, well, where the hell has this been the past few weeks? Because this could be the difference between 2-1 and 3-0. But whatever, we'll see what happens. El Jefe, who you rolling with at running back?
Well, last week I was in the right backfield. I shouldn't have the right guy. I picked David Montgomery. He got hurt really early in the game, and Khalil Herbert had his career game and looked really good. And the thing about him is, even last year when he played, when Montgomery was out, he played well. And there was talk in Chicago that, I mean, do they start splitting time down the middle or what? Well, now he's the guy, and Justin Fields sucks for whatever reason. I wish it weren't so, but he does. And at Houston, I don't think there's any reason that Herbert can't maybe have a career day today. I mean, they're just going to feed him the ball and give him the ball and give him the ball. So I think Herbert at 57, he's my spend down, but I think he's going to score way better than most of the people that are above him today. So Khalil Herbert at 5,700, man, I think that's a steal.
You know why Justin Fields sucks? Because he's a quarterback that went to Ohio State in the NFL that plays for the Bears. There's never been a good quarterback for the Bears, and there's never been a good Ohio State quarterback that went into the NFL. So that's a double whammy. Bears suck. They're going to lose today by 3 touchdowns.
Wow. You want to bet on that?
Yeah. I'm not going to say 3 touchdowns.
So you give me 21?
I'll give you 20. No, I'm not giving you any points on that. I'll give you 2.5.
Give me 2 touchdowns.
I'll give you 2.5 points.
Oh.
Hey, we both suck, but we just have a good record. That's all.
Who you rolling with, Joe?
I just like that. I wanted to see if this bet was going to pan out. Let's see what we matched on that earlier.
Hey, I'll bet you 20 cents. I'll take the 2.5 points.
All right.
20 cents. All right.
Millionaire makers.
So I'm actually, like I said, I have to spend down at a position because I'm going with Josh Allen at 8,400. I'm going to be honest with you, Jeff. I'm playing a lot of Khalil Herbert this week for that same reason. But to kind of come up on the other end of it, I'm going with Dameon Pierce at 5,600. He seems to be the guy out there now. I know.
How much is
it? 5,600. So I know that there was a little bit of a question of whose backfield is really going to be and everything. But as the weeks go by, he gets more carries, and we see a lot less of Rex Burkhead. So yeah, Rex Burkhead's going to go out there. He's going to catch a couple passes. But when we're talking about who's getting all the carries, it really is Dameon Pierce. So you add that to the fact that the Chargers just have not been done well at stopping the run. I believe they're giving up 5.3 yards per attempt, giving up the 6th most yards per attempt after contact. And one thing to be noted here is that Dameon Pierce is actually gaining 48% of his yards after contact. So it just bodes well once you really put everything in place. I expect this to be a game where the Texans aren't throwing the ball a lot because they want to give themselves a chance to actually go out and beat the Chargers, and the Chargers just aren't at full strength. We know we're not going to have any Keenan Allen out there. We know that Herbert's still a little bit banged up, and we know
Allen out.
Yeah, he's out again.
Oh, well, I guess we got to fix my one lineup, Leon.
Yeah. I honestly haven't had the guy since week 1, man. It's really hurting me in our home league. So, and what's hurting me too is Austin Eckler, because he wants less carries. He's like, hey, I want to play the game of football, but I don't want to play the game of football. The guy is worthless right now, and if I don't get a game from him soon, I don't know what I'm going to do because it's not even like you can trade him for anything. Well, if I drop him in our league, I only get half of the money back, so it's not even worth it.
I'm sure you could get somebody like Njoku for him.
Oh, yeah. Trade him to David Brooks for Njoku. Yeah, let's see, though. But, yeah, Dameon Pierce is it for me this week against the Chargers for sure. So bringing it back around to wide receiver here, I am actually going with, and this is a little bit away from what I've been doing all year. I've really heavily stacked in this position, but I'm actually going to go with AJ Brown. AJ Brown has just, I mean, he's been solid. I mean, what else can you say? I think his stat lines have been 10 for 155, 5 for 69, and then 5 for 85 and 1. He's saying 33% of that target share. He's fifth. He has the fifth highest air yards share. I mean, like everything about what's going on out there in Philly right now is spectacular. I know that's not what you like to hear, Kai, but man, this Philadelphia team is really legit, honestly. And unless some injuries happen or something changes, I don't expect that to change this week against Jacksonville. So he's 7,400. I am paying up there. Another reason why I paid down at running back though is I am telling you I am gonna have that stack in some of my lineups with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs still in here with AJ Brown. I worked out a couple ways to make that happen, which is a beautiful, beautiful working for a lineup. But AJ Brown definitely gonna still leave you some money out there to go make some picks in the rest of that order. El Jefe, who you got rolling at wide receiver?
AJ Brown. I mean, look, seriously, I mean, we don't always have the same picks, but just like you said, look, not even the Phillies for real. Jalen Hurts is for real. And his running doesn't actually take away from his receivers' opportunities. It actually helps create them because you just don't know what he's going to do. And he's smart enough and he does exactly what he's supposed to do on any given play. Look, AJ Brown was on 10 targets last week anyway. I believe he's at 10 or better the entire year. And I think, honestly, this is going to be one of those back and forth things with these guys. Devonta Smith had a sick game last week, and I almost put him in today's lineup. But I think back and forth all year, and A.J. Brown's just too good. He's going to be at the end, be the main guy. Devonta Smith is a perfect complement, but there's no reason that 7,400 A.J. Brown shouldn't be in everybody's lineup today, man, for real. That's for real. Jacksonville's a little bit better than everybody thought, but it's still Jacksonville.
Right, yeah, and if you look at what Jacksonville's given up to the position, I mean, they let's see.
Where's Andy Myers, man? That's his stuff right there.
they've allowed the 11th most drafting points and 7th highest yards per reception to opposing wideouts. That includes 5 receiving touchdowns, which is tied second most in the NFL. So, for as good as they are and as good as they are playing, I mean, this is set up for a smash position for AJ Brown and Devon Smith, to tell you the truth. So, but
you could double those guys up today because Devon is not that expensive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't be a bad double stack. Away from the quarterback, the traditional quarterback wide receiver role, I wouldn't mind that. But yeah, I mean, I'd be lying if I have enough time, which we'll be getting down to the nitty gritty. I wouldn't mind having some lineups that had all 3 of them in there.
I was going to say that could be the rare triple stack there, man.
Yeah. So, and I know you never you never triple stamp a double stamp, but sometimes you triple stack a double stack. So, Cordero, who you going with at wide receiver?
Well, I'm piggybacking off your quarterback, Joe. I got to get Diggs in there. He is 8,400. He's probably top 3 expensive, if not the most. But if Miami can make the Ravens defense look that bad, I don't see any problem with the Bills doing it either. So yeah, Stephon Diggs. I think he's going to get you. Close to 30 today, if not more. Again, I'm just looking at the defense on this one. Baltimore's secondary is Swiss cheese. So going big at wide receiver today.
It's going to be like that Medina Menor game last week, 51-38. Who knows who?
Could be. Points.
Yeah, I don't see anyone who's going to be able to, slow down Stephon Diggs this week. Like I said, the corners are really good, but he's known to get free. And once they get behind there and they don't have any safety help, Stephon Diggs is bound to have a really amazing game again. So definitely not a bad pick. So moving on over to tight end, let's just go ahead and reverse it again. So Cordero Catterson, who you got?
Catterson, I'm from Akron. Hey, quick question. You guys watching this game, the London game?
I don't have NFL Network.
I It's on in the other room.
Did Mark Ingram get hurt? Because I haven't seen him in there. Anyway, I'm going David and Njoku. That's who you're trading for, Austin Eckler. It's Browns Falcons. I think it's going to be a high scoring game today. And Njoku's averaging over 10 points a game. Only $3,700. I was going to try to double dip again, but I guess
deep dive him today.
Still against the rules. I have a separate deep dive that's only $3,200, but you can reverse them if you like because they are both the tight ends. But I'm going with Njoku today for tight end.
Monster game last week.
Exactly. Atlanta sucks.
Not a bad pick. I just hope it doesn't happen. I'm playing David Brooks this week, so. El Jefe, who you got at tight end?
Well, somebody has to go with the Leons, right? Every week we're talking about the Leons. Except this week I'm going on the offensive side rather than looking at the defensive side like we usually do. But Swift is not playing today. Amon St. Brown is not playing today. Detroit surprisingly likes to score, and there's no reason that Hawkinson. This is the game. This is the first game this year that TJ. They're going to need him. His targets have been going up. He hasn't had much success, but this is a guy if you use, which they're going to have to today, against Seattle, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they could move this ball up and down the field all game long. Anyway, sorry, I'm looking at my daughter. Hawk, man. I have him in other leagues, but he's I don't even know. 50. I don't have the price written down. He's
4,100.
How much?
I was going to say 44.
4,100. Yeah, I can follow up for you because it sounds like we actually have two of the same picks this week.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Because that's who I have at tight end. I mean, he's on the season. He's playing 85% of the snaps. He's running the route on 76% of Jared Goff's dropbacks. And he scored his first touchdown last week, which could really be what's going to go ahead and get him going. You already mentioned that DeAndre Swift is out. You already mentioned that Amon St. Brown is out. Just to add to that, DJ Chark is out. So, they're missing a wave of options that they are typically using, especially this year on offense. Now, I would probably stay away from Jared Goff for those of you who want to get really daring. But yeah, if I'm getting in on this offense at all, I am probably definitely hitting up TJ Hawkinson to get going at $4,100. And then I also would look at Jamal Williams as well. If you guys are looking at it for some GPP help.
Keep that pick in mind for my next appearance.
Yeah. So, moving on here, now we do our deep dive. Now, for everybody, our deep dive, I think Jeff mentioned that we keep everything under 28,000 for our core four. Our deep dive is 4,000 or less, and this is really meant to save you that money that you need to save to go make some other picks for the rest of your cash lineup. Or once again, this one is going to be a little bit more useful in GPP lineups because you want to kind of get away from the pack and do something different that's going to make you some money. Unfortunately, I think mine this week might be a little bit more popular since we got some news about Sterling Shepard. My deep dive is actually exactly 4,000. That's Richie James for the New York Giants. Kenny Galladay is bad. He's been benched the entire season pretty much. Sterling Shepard.
What happened to that guy?
He left Detroit and Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford always chooses a guy that he's going to throw the ball to 100 times a game, and I guess that was Kenny Galladay, and he faked us. This was never good. Unfortunately, he got a lot of people, including that Giants organization, because I think they gave him a decent amount of money to come there. I expected him to be a lot better than he was, but just never turned out to be the case. But yeah, besides him being benched, you have Sterling Shepard, who had just a very unfortunate game last week. Other than the ACL tear, which effectively ended his season, he also got fined afterwards. I'm just like, dude, insult to injury. He got heavily fined for a hit that he made, I think, after a turnover or something like that. Kadarius Toney can't get healthy, and Wandale Robinson still is not making a season debut yet. So Richie James is already be getting heavily targeted. I expect this to be more of a Saquon game probably, but they're going to have to hit somebody else up that's out there. And I think Richie James at 4,000 is going to be a very, very, very solid pick for that. And I've been hitting on my deep dives, if nothing else. So I'm hoping that's another one. El Jefe, who you got at your deep dive today?
Look, as far as the deep dive goes, and you referenced it a little bit, but you have to have one of these in your lineup if you're going to play those GPP games. You have to. And like last week, you hit big. And the week before that, Dortch, the receiver, had a big game for his price. I mean, if you need, for the big money games, you need to hit your deep dive, so-called. You've got to have those cheap players to throw in. And this goes back to the Detroit game. For some reason, this offense moves the ball, they run the ball, they pass the ball, they score. They're going to have to today. And you know what they love to do, even when Swift is healthy and full go? They still like to get the ball to their other running back 10 to 15 times a game. So they like to split carries in this backfield. No Swift, no Brown, no, who'd you say? Who else?
No DJ Chark.
No, who just had a good game for them, right? His first one.
Yep.
But look, they split the backfield no matter what. And Justin Jefferson has played pretty well at times when he was getting time. He was kind of the two guy in San Diego before it was whatever. But
Justin Jackson.
Jackson, I'm sorry, Justin Jackson. Yeah, Justin Jefferson. I can't afford him today.
Hopefully,
I don't know. He's playing anyway. So that doesn't matter.
He's doing something while we're not watching.
Yeah, but 4,000, Justin Jackson he's gonna get his touches in a game that there's gonna be points. So 4,000, man, it's well worth the risk.
Yeah, no, I like that pick. And you're right, they do like to split carries out there. And not knowing the severity of what's going on with DeAndre Swift, I think the last thing that the Detroit Lions want to do right now is, run Williams into the ground. So he'll definitely be getting some looks this week. And I mean, they're playing a matchup where that could bode well for them. Catterson, who you deep diving on today?
Njoku. Just kidding. Will Dissly, man, we are talking about Detroit Lions very much today.
There we are. Lions defense every week.
And we're picking on the Lions defense. We can pick on Seattle's defense too, but hey, I'm going with Will Dissly. He's the guy, the tight end there in Seattle. $3,200, man. So I got you two tight ends for $6,900. That'll get you probably more than a lot of players that cost $6,900 cost.
Look, we're all way under this week, and there's a lot of room left.
Oh yeah,
this week
will be stacked.
Yeah, I think my lineup came out to about 25, maybe
25-8.
Yeah,
I'm 25-5, and I haven't worked Kai's out. 10, 18. I think Kai's might be less than ours.
Yeah, there you go. And like I told you, I plan on having a lot of lineups that have Josh Allen, A.J. Brown, and Stephon Diggs in it. I think you could really save at running back this week. For one, you can typically save at quarterback. Like I think that Matt Ryan pick is a good one, but I was very surprised at how much you could save at running back by taking options like Khalil Herbert, Dameon Pierce, even Jamal Williams. I mean, I think he's only $6,100. So this is a good week to try to stay away from some of those $7,000, $8,000, especially the $8,000. Definitely don't go out and pick Jonathan Taylor. I mean, if he blows the doors
he's
open,
this rebound,
if he goes open, he blows the doors open on you. That's fine. You're still hoping that because somebody spent all this money on Jonathan Taylor, that they spent down elsewhere that didn't hit for you. I don't mind going zero RB. That's what I'm going to call it for DFS purposes. Zero RB in this lineup this week on this slate, especially because you can just pay down elsewhere. You're saving money at tight end. You're saving money at running back this week. Pay up on your wide receivers and quarterbacks.
Look, I think your last week's deep dive is great and should be included in a lot of lineups this week.
Matt Collins is
it's going to get the ball.
What's his name again? The guy that was good last year, but is
Renfro?
Yeah. Is he out again?
Yeah.
He's out again? Oh.
That's what I hear.
I would play Mac Hollins there.
I have him in mind.
He's second most routes on the team, ran behind Devontae Adams, and I mean it paid off last week. I think he was what 3,800 or something like that, and
paid 9,000.
He was a top 3 wide receiver last week, so I definitely won some money off of that lineup. But then I lost some money in the 4:00 game, so that's how it happens. But yeah, I mean those are the picks. I only have one stardom sit-em, and I feel bad because I don't know what I did with it. So
keep sending them in, man. Keep sending them in.
Well, the thing is for as much as I love everybody, I say put them in the comment sections, and some people just send them directly to me, and that's hazard waiting to happen. I lose stuff that I send to myself, so. Yeah, make your best pick on that. Whoever you are, I apologize. Maybe I'll answer it next week because I think you'll probably be in the same dilemma. But yeah, send your start sit-em questions, and if you do it, just do it on one of our platforms. It could be Facebook, it could be Instagram, it can be actually we don't stream Instagram. So it can be Facebook, it can be Twitter, it can be Twitch, it can be YouTube. Just send them there because then they automatically pop up in this nice little comment section I have here. I can't lose it. It's not somewhere on my phone with the other 50,000 text messages I got. And then I can actually go ahead and give you some advice. And you might not even want the advice from me. You really might just want it from Jeff or Cordero Catterson. I don't know. But
you didn't want mine last week. You didn't want mine last week. But you know what? Like Kai said, this is what's happening. I suck week 1. Week 2, I blew up. Sucked last week, so might have something here.
Let's hope so, Jeff.
Yeah,
yeah. Let's see. But yeah, so that'll wrap it up for today. Everybody, thank you for watching. You can go ahead and catch us every Sunday morning. We hop on and we do the same thing. So start playing DFS. If you guys want to get in some lineups with us, let us know. We always run one. We wouldn't mind seeing how you guys stack up against us and to see what we got from there. We'll be putting out our season-long rankings again this week. This previous week, there was an emergency that kind of came up that didn't allow me to do it. So I apologize that I did not post any, but we'll get back to that starting this week. So make sure you check our page out throughout the week at IU We Talk Sports on any of those platforms I mentioned above. And if you weren't listening to me, that's Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. And other than that, as always, we out of here straight from First Energy Stadium.
Go Giants. Go Yankees.